Okay, guys. On my way back to Kansas City, I stopped by the Fort Scott National Historic Site. That's a visitor center. Um, so the parking is over there, and I walked through the inside. I took photos from the front. This is the visitor center, so I walked inside and I came out through the back. And basically, this is like a small little town, this site, from way back when. I think this is during the Civil War era. So this is gonna be a quick tour because I only have 6% of my battery left. Okay, so this. Let me just pull out my little guide. Sorry. This is the guardhouse. So I'm guessing is the house where the guards stayed. So you can see inside. They had like little living quarters in here. This is where they slept. This is where their cabinet, and I'm guessing this is a little cooking unit. Way back when, all cast iron, so it must be legit. I'm going to open this. Oh no, 5%. And then that you would put your wood in there, and start cooking. Then you put your pans right here, and then that's how it would go. Oh look, there's even a little wood right there. So I'm assuming this would serve as like a jail type of thing too, because I noticed some prison cells in here too. Oh, this was where confinement was. Okay. So again, here's like one of the jail cells. So this is definitely, where the jail people would come. One of these doors are open. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of peek in here. This is where the confinement space was for prisoners. Pretty interesting. This is another jail. As you can see, the old ball and chain are in there. I can't really get in because it's locked, but as you can see, you can kind of understand the conditions these prisoners lived way back when. Order and discipline. Let's see, I have 4%, so I'm going to move on to the next house. I'm going to try to get as much as I can before my phone dies. This was horrible planning on my part because I was thinking that I didn't think I was gonna stop by here. I actually didn't realize there's a national park along the way, the heart of Fort Scott. There you go, now I can see better. The heart of Fort Scott. I took a picture of that. So that's the road that we came in. And there's a little downtown area, like old school downtown. There's a flag in the middle. So this next stop we're going to. Okay, this is just a building of restrooms according to this map. So I'm assuming this little town, this was like the public restrooms you find nowadays. Obviously, wait a minute, what does this say? Infantry life. This week, oh, never mind, this is the infantry barracks. Take a quick picture. Not a bathroom. Maybe I read the map wrong. During wartime, infantry fought on foot, but during peacetime, life infantry meant isolation, routine boarding, and unappealing work. So I guess this is where the soldiers stayed. In one of them. Very interesting. Let's move on. So if that was the infant, what? Let's see. Maybe I'm reading this map wrong. Guys, hold on. So here's the map. Well, it says restrooms right there, and in the next building is the storehouse, which is that right there. Let's read this real quick. Little squirrel up there. Crack post of the frontier. Let's see. Oh, 1% battery, so let's keep on going. My phone's about to die. But basically, this is it, you know. I'm sorry for a short video, but this is the another national park, Fort Scott historic site. I'm not going to be able to give you all the full tour, but either way, I don't think I can get in to these other houses because there's ropes in front of the stairs, meaning we're not allowed to enter. But basically, this is it, another National Historic Site, Fort Scott National Historic Site. Very interesting. I'm gonna go over here, and if this video cuts short, you will know why. Well, my phone battery died, so I had to cut the video short, but for the most part I showed y'all the overview of the National Historic Site here in Fort Scott National Historic Site National Park. It was a great visit. Take these off so you see my eyes. I would definitely come again with my family. I would definitely take Tulsi here. This is a very nice little town. I would give this park a 10 out of 10 because there is very interactive. Because on some of the buildings, you can actually go inside and, you know, kind of peek to see what was inside the living quarters. So apparently, as I was kind of reading, and this was kind of near the pre-Civil War era, kind of leading up to the Civil War. This was kind of in the state where the territories between they were for or against slavery. This is the area where the states was divided, and it was in the area called Bleeding, Kansas, is what I was reading. Essentially, it's kind of, like I said, pre-Civil War era, and there were some that were against the slavery, some that were for the slavery, and inside this site, like on the northern part of the site, they had like a hotel for free slaves. You know, like this is literally on the territory where part of the state was where slaves were free, and another part where slaves were allowed. You know, so I was reading at some buildings, like, you know, the hotels where slaves could stay there and they were free. But on the direct opposite end of the site is where slaves were held. So it was literally, I mean, as you can, I mean, I can't show you because I'm in my car charging my phone, so, you know, I can give this last minute ending video of my thoughts. But yeah, this was a very, very cool site. It just blows my mind, you know, like literally like a football field size away. As a slave, you can be free, but you're held against your will. It's like, okay, then you ask yourself, like, how do you, I'm not really sure how that works, you know, like it was divided like right there. So this is a very cool site. I would definitely recommend coming. And in front of me, well, this can't flip. I would have to stop recording, but right in front of me is like a little downtown area with the where they call it Fort Scott National Antique Downtown Area. So let me see if I can flip this around. I can't flip this around. I'm gonna stop the video and I'll flip it around so you can see. Okay, and I'm back. So right in front of me, like right across, okay, so this is the historic site. That's the visitor center. So like these buildings, so this building was that hotel where slaves were being held, and on the other side, I mean, the visitor center is blocking it, but on the other side is where slaves were free, you know. But right across the National Historic Site is this little downtown area. This tree is blocking it, but this little antique downtown area looks a little nice. So I'm gonna drive around so I can give y'all a quick tour. Maybe if I drive, you guys can kind of see part of the historic site. 1 second. Okay, guys, so I'm in my car. I would love to get down and do some more exploring, but my phone is charging in the car. But look, this is the Fort Smith National Historic Site. I did take some photos before I started taking the video because I knew my phone battery was about to give in. But yeah, this is the visitor center. You can kind of see Fort Scott yesterday, Fort Scott today. So these buildings have been renovated with some original stuff in the buildings, but this is like the barracks, you know. This is where that hotel I was telling y'all about. And then actually you can see right across right across the building. Okay, so there's some history to understand right here. I believe pre-Civil War era, there was these buildings were bought out. Like this site was bought out by the government, I think, at some point, where it was used for soldiers, living quarters, and like prison cells. I think for slaves. I'm not 100% sure, but this building right here is the living quarters where like the officers would live, you know, and they basically lived like kings because they were living in a great place. Versus you can't see it, but not right here, but in the building next door. This building is hiding up behind this building is where the enlisted men, you know, I guess like the people who just joined the military would be living, and the quality of living in those buildings were not very good. I really wish I can get down and show y'all some more, but see, there's some more buildings over here. I think I showed y'all this is the guardhouse, and that's the one of the living quarters for the soldiers, or now they're calling it the restrooms. But at some point in history, I think it was sold to people who bought them as hotels not hotels, but living quarters for slaves, or for the free people. Overall, this is very interesting site. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Definitely would come here again. Okay, so take a quick picture. Ooh, that's a nice photo. Okay, like I said, behind me, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the antique historic downtown area. And do not worry, I have my safety checks on. I do this very safely. Look, there's a good good sign. Let me lower this window so you can kind of see her a little bit. I'm actually going to take a quick photo of this while my phone's plugged in. Okay, this is a one-way, so they can't come this way. But basically, this is a shop historic downtown. You know, it's very nice. You can't really see. It's just a nice little downtown area that we're gonna drive by. See, I can't come this way. I'm gonna go around. But this is another memorial site, I guess, for those who have served here. You know, it says, "Due to duty, honor, country," and is dedicated in honor of all who served in the armed forces I can't even read. Dedicated in honor of all who served in the armed forces of our country in the 20th century and beyond, is what that says. So that looks pretty nice. But unfortunately, I mean, this is terrible. I can't believe I didn't charge my phone. This is like an awesome facility and site to be visiting. So we're gonna drive around. This is a nice little town. This is a nice town. Honestly, this is about an hour and a half south of Kansas City. This is in the Kansas side. We're in Fort Scott, Kansas. And you know, I would honestly, this would be a nice little weekend getaway. And I'm gonna convince my wife to come, and we can come here like on a weekend so we can check this out. This is a nice little town. There's like a little grill area here. You know, I love these little towns where it's very lively, very welcoming. You can get like a warm home vibe, you know. And I think I like these towns because it hits home. Because my hometown is in Mission, Texas, and it's very and it's very small. It's a small town as well. I think the population is like 80,000, you know, 80,000, 60,000, something like that. But here we are, guys. We're about to drive by historic downtown. So this is what it kind of looks like. I'm not going to be able to get down and do some exploring because I'm not necessarily on a time crunch, but I just my phone is dead, or you know, it's charging on the car charger. So I'm not really gonna. I'm gonna turn in here, guys, and just to explore this little street right here. This is right ahead. Is that National Historic Site? But yeah, I mean, you can tell this is like has that antique, you know, downtown feel to it. There's like a little ice cream shop right there with pizza and pasta, Papa Don's. There's a gift shop, you know, right there. It's pretty nice. You can, you know, the buildings are very antique, very nice looking. So yeah, there's little buildings. I like these small little buildings like this. It's very nice. Okay, let this kitty cross, or not. You gonna go? All right, well, I'm gonna go. La Hacienda, Fort Smith. Okay, it's just a Mexican restaurant. So it's very, very cool. So I'm gonna put on pause and take you to the other side of downtown. But as you can see, up ahead is Fort Scott National Historic Park. Okay, guys. So here's more of the historic downtown area. I think we just turned here, so let me put on pause. Okay, guys, I reached the other end of downtown. So this is basically the beginning of the historic downtown. As you can see, it has older buildings and antique looking buildings. As you can see on my right, there's just parking along, you know. So it's these kind of buildings that, you know, that it's pretty nice. There's City Hall. So this is a nice little area to walk in and just kind of walk around, explore. So this is right behind the Fort Scott National Historic Site. You know, I'm just kind of going around. This looks like a little theater. Kind of this reminds me so much of Mission. There's just so many antique buildings, old buildings here. Little pavilion type of thing. So up ahead is the street that I went down in. So it's not too big, but it's just nice for, like, you know, you go for a day or you know, come stay overnight and kind of explore the national park, historic site, and walk downtown. Just like, I think it's a nice place to take like a small date. You know, there's antique stores, collectibles. Yeah, there are people walking downtown. I'm not sure what that is, but still very cool. And four-way. Okay, so this is where I took you earlier. Again, we're going to pass through here, and this will be the end of our tour of the National Historic Site. And now Fort Scott Antique Downtown. Again, we're passing here, and here I wanted to show a video of this downtown directory that I'm also gonna take a picture of because it looks pretty cool. Instagram.